Let me finish this mouthful.
Great. That's what she said.
Mm.
Yeah, you eat those crumbs, you dirty boy.
I expect. That's what she said too. Welcome to Heroes of Handheld, episode 122. Right, my name's Chris. I'm your host. I'm joined by a boy. He's good for a laugh, but not for a bath. It's Colin Byrne.
Why am I not good for a bath? Answer me that, Chris.
Because I've seen your hair, and it's like Olympians.
I can't hear. Your connection is so bad. Say that again.
I said it's greasier than an Olympus jockstrap.
My hair is actually very greasy at the moment. I need to have a haircut. Don't you worry. Next week when we do this podcast, my hair is going to be looking shit hot. Shit hot. Not just
Really?
shit, but hot as well.
That makes a nice change. Do handheld gaming news every single week on this program. Talk mainly about 3DS and Vita. Do dabble occasionally in Android OS if anything good tackles our fancy. Len, you had a good week. You've been playing a lot.
I'm tempted to say, can we start again? Because your connection is just awful. It's not even funny. It's really bad. You can't even hear you. Soz.
Let me go and turn something off in the living room. I'll be back in a minute.
Stop downloading your hardcore bestiality porn.
Rob?
Oh, Rob. The treat is people watching on YouTube will have to sit through all of this, but not people on the podcast, because we're going to cut this crap out. Damn straight, we're going to cut that crap out. I was just informing our lovely listeners that we're going to be editing the bits out. Editing that bit out. So the people watching on YouTube will have the joy of listening to all of this, but the people listening will not have to. Very good.
Lucky thing. Okay. Hello and welcome to episode 122 of Heroes of Handheld. My name is Chris. I'm joined by, he's good for a laugh, but he's not good for a laugh. It's Colin Byrne.
Almost got there. I am good for a bath. Baths are good. I actually can't fit in most bath tubs. My limbs end up over the side, so it's not very relaxing. Like my body, like my chest and groin area, will be submerged in lovely warm water, but unfortunately my arms and legs will be over the side of the bath, so I'll be really cold, thus making the whole point of a bath invalid. Chris, what do you say to that?
Do you play Vita?
I actually did play Vita in my bath. No, I have a few times, I think. Back when I actually had a bath where I live, I actually did have baths every now and then. There's nothing better than when you've done like a bit of exercise, you're aching all over, your muscles are aching. There's nothing better than a good bubbly bath and a bath bomb. The one time when Lush actually comes in handy. Those amazing bath bombs. But yes, I have played Vita whilst in the bath before. But what I do, because I'm so scared I'm going to drop my electronic device into the bath, I sort of lean over the side. Like I have the Vita placed on the towel next to the bath and like have my arms over the side. It doesn't really feel very nice because it makes all the blood flow. All the blood flow to my arm is restricted because I'm got it rested up against the edge of the bath. So yeah, it's not the best thing to do. Have you ever played your 2DS, 3DS, or your PlayStation whilst in the shower? Have you taken your PS4 into the shower with you because you just can't be away from Fallout 4? We will take your silence as a yes to that question, dear listeners.
No, I was listening. I've never.
You've never.
This is so frustrating. Sorry about this. I don't know what's happening.
We're going to soldier on through. We're not stopping again, people. Basically, Chris's connection is really bad because he's downloading too much bestiality, Animal Crossing porn. But we're going to soldier on anyway because we are professionals on this podcast, people. We don't stop for nobody. So I'm going to just go straight on into our free game of the week, and I'm going to reveal to you what my favorite free game of the week has been. So every week, me and Chris, we find a free game that's available on the App Store. Normally, it's available on both the App Store and the Google Play Store. Sometimes we're just too lazy and don't bother to check. I hope this game is available on Android because I haven't actually checked. It's a game that's called 8-Ball Pool. 8-Ball Pool. And it's by...
Pool.
Yes, 8-Ball Pool. That sounds like a great nickname for someone called Paul. 8-Ball Pool. Like a character from Snatch.
Only if they've got 8 testicles.
Yes, that is the downfall there. But it's really fun. It's by our good friends at miniclip.com. Do you remember Miniclip when everyone used to play it at school? Exactly. But
yes, I do. Yes, this is...
It's really, really fun. It's a free game and it's a competitive online multiplayer game. So you need to be connected to Wi-Fi or have substantial 4G on your phone to be able to play it because you're matched up against people from around the world. It's really fun. It's really addictive. Like if you lose, it's a bit like playing FIFA. I found on Xbox. If you lose a game, you want to go straight into another game because you're like, well, I want to win. I don't want to end on a defeat. I want to end on a win. And if you win a game, you like the feeling so much that you want to keep on going because when you win a match on 8-Ball Pool, you get some coins. And the more coins you get, the higher ranked games you can play in. You can play in tournaments as well. And you can exchange those coins for new queues, better looking tables. It's really fun. Very addictive, I found. I guess you have to be a fan of pool games. Seriously, no joke. You have to be a fan of pool games to like this game because that's all it is. There's nothing special. It's just your straight up pool billiards game. So you're either stripes or you're solids. Chris, are you more a stripe or a solids kind of guy?
I tend to go for solids, actually.
Yeah. My doctor says I've got to try and have more solid poo. I don't know what I'm saying anymore.
You okay, hon? Everyone all right?
I'm all right. I just can't cope with how late you are and your bad internet connection. It's sort of making me feel sad. So that's this week's free game of the week, 8-Ball Pool. Download it now if you have an iPhone or an Android device. If you've got a BlackBerry, what the hell are you doing with your life? You can't play it on there, you silly person. Right, so let's go. Actually, before we start the show for reals, what have you been playing this week, Chris?
I've been playing a lot of Trials Heroes this week, which I got it for Christmas. There hasn't been a time when there's been me and 2 other in the room. We've been watching a lot. That's really fun. I would say the totem mechanic, which advertises it, you can all pick each other up, is good, but it's annoying because if someone picks you up, you're kind of powerless. So you end up like person who's a bit of a troublemaker. You get picked up and then thrown off quite a lot, and it's just kind of nothing you can really do. But I'm enjoying it. It is good fun, and I mean it's a different sort of Zelda experience. And for anyone who's watching the video, it inspired me to get a new phone case, which has got Triforces and shit on.
And for those of you who can't, Chris, for the benefit of our listeners who can't understand robot language, can you please say the name of the game again, please?
The Legend of Zelda Triforce Heroes.
Ah, lovely. Thanks for that, pal. And also, because I can't talk robot, how are you finding it? How are you finding it? Is it good?
What's happened? Yes, it's really good fun.
I think when we look back, when we finally decide to put this podcast to bed and bury it, I think we'll look back on this episode being one of our low points. To be honest with you, but we're gonna keep on going because we love handheld gaming. It's great. It's really fun.
Okay, you cover for me, Colin.
Yeah.
I'm going to try something jazzy, okay? Just cover for me. I'm going to leave the chat, but I'll still be here.
Beautiful. So Chris is leaving the chat. Well, I'll just give you the update on the latest scores from the Barclays Premiership. It's Chelsea 1. Well, I'm joking. I'm not really going to do that. But actually, it is Chelsea 1, West Brom 1, which is quite funny, really. So I wanted to start off this week with an article that's going to be outside our normal news section because I wanted to, well, obviously Chris isn't here, but I wanted to open the floor for Chris to give give me his input as well. And that was the news that was revealed last week, that Sony were trying to trademark the expression "Let's Play." Now, let that sink in for a minute. They were trying to trademark Let's Play. Now, we remember a few years ago when the company behind Candy Crush, I think they're called King. I think that's their name. I can't remember that. The company behind Candy Crush tried to trademark the word candy. And obviously, they were laughed out of court and people threw stuff at them because that's stupid. You can't trademark the word candy because it's a word that people use. It's a bit like when Paris Hilton, I know these things about Paris Hilton. I've got a girlfriend who loves Paris Hilton. She tried to trademark the expression "that's so hot," which is also stupid. So why are Sony jumping on this bandwagon and trying to trademark the expression "Let's Play"? For those of you who live under a rock and don't know what the internet is and don't use YouTube, "Let's Plays" is a common phrase, a common expression that's used to describe videos which sees online YouTube personalities playing video games. Probably the most famous example of this is PewDiePie, who is the most subscribed to person on YouTube. He plays a game. There's a little video. There's him in the bottom right or left-hand corner giving his expressions whilst he plays these games. It's very popular amongst horror games. So, like, for example, Five Nights at Freddy's, a YouTuber will play it and then they film their reactions and people love it because they get so scared and they fall off their chair. There's not really been much information as to why Sony have tried to trademark the expression "Let's Play." When multiple news sources have tried to get comment from PlayStation and Sony, they've declined to say anything. So we're still a bit mystified as to what they were trying to achieve by this. But think about it. If Let's Play was trademarked by Sony, what would this mean for YouTubers there are YouTubers out there who make their careers, make their money, their livelihood by making these videos, which are Let's Plays. So I guess I don't know whether this would mean they couldn't make these videos anymore or whether they just couldn't use the expression "Let's Play." I guess they could change it and say something else. And I think Chris is back because I can hear some rustling in the background. Chris, are you there? Chris?
Yes. Oh, Colin, I'm here.
Yes, you sound so crispy. I love it. There's nothing better than literally Chris is moving his
phone.
Oh my god. This is great. What's this like? This is like there's some film where they use their phones. I don't know. Chris, have I told you about the film that's on Netflix, which is called Escape from Tomorrowland, where the whole thing was filmed on handheld cameras at Disneyland in America?
Yeah, I've heard about this. Did you enjoy it?
I did, but what's even more hilarious is your quality is much better now, but you sound like you're talking through a muffler. I can barely hear you. Get your thumb off the speaker, you dumbass.
Oh
my god, he actually did. What dickhead. Anyway, did you hear any of my
Yeah, I was listening to your expert commentary on PewDiePie.
PewDiePie? No. Come on. Did you hear what I was saying about Sony trying to trademark the expression "Let's Play"?
Yeah, it's really stupid, isn't it? It's like when Taylor Swift tried to trademark like 1989 and stuff.
Yeah, I remember when she took all her music off of Spotify because she didn't think that artists were getting enough money, even though she's like a multi-millionaire, which was quite funny.
Yeah, but that was a good thing. Whereas like trying to trademark 1989 is probably not a good thing.
No, so anyone who was born in 1989 is in breach of copyright, and you have to pay Taylor Swift money every year on your birthday. I mean, the good news about this attempt to trademark is that it was rejected by the United States Patent and Trademark Office, also known as USPTO.
Nice,
I guess. I mean, this was only put forward in America. It wasn't around the world, just the US. So, haha, US. But it was rejected. But it wasn't rejected for the reason you'd think. It wasn't rejected because it is a ridiculous notion. It was rejected because this UPSO believed that the expression "Let's Play" was too similar to the already trademarked LP Let's Play. This is the text of the logo used by Let's Play of America, which operates a video game arcade in the city of Marietta, Georgia. So there you go. So the only reason it was rejected is because it sounds similar to a arcade in Georgia. It's good that it was rejected, but if this arcade didn't exist, it probably would have been accepted. And then what would have happened? What would PewDiePie have done, people? What would he have done? But a lot of people are bit confused and a bit angry as to why Sony have done this. And as I said, there's been no comment from Sony as yet, so we don't actually know what they were trying to achieve from this. I don't know whether they wanted to have, maybe they're going to be pushing for more Let's Play on Sony. I don't know really. No, I don't have a PS4. I've never had a PS3, but on Xbox, on the home page, not the home page, what's it called? The home menu section.
Yeah, like the dashboard.
Yeah, the dashboard. God, you know my Xbox better than me. They have videos like from people who are at Microsoft and Xbox, like weekly shows talking about the latest releases. Maybe Sony were trying to push for more programming like that, so they wanted to do more Let's Plays of their own games. I do not know. It also makes me think about what Nintendo did a few years ago, the partnership program they do with people who play their games on YouTube. Like rather than because in the past they'd just taken videos down, they'd reported them, and people who'd played Nintendo games had their content removed from YouTube. But now there's a partnership program where you can sign up with Nintendo. So I think it's a split of about, is it 50-50? Like the ad revenue, half goes to Nintendo, half goes to the player, the YouTuber. I'm not too sure it is. But yeah, who knows what will happen. And hopefully Sony won't appeal this, because they've got until the end of June, I believe, to appeal this decision. And yeah, if they appeal it, we'll wait and see whether it would be accepted that time. But I hope it's not. So they've got till the 29th
even if it is accepted, people aren't going to stop using the phrase, are they?
No,
it's kind of a moot point.
But my opinion is, my thoughts are: does this mean if they were to trademark Let's Play, does that mean they've just trademarked that expression, or does that mean the whole concept of Let's Play videos will be owned by Sony?
They can't trademark the concept, can they?
No, I guess not. People just give it a different name, like Let's Nay, where they play horse games. Yes, right. So I just want to be interesting to hear what you, dear listeners, think of this. I mean, Sony are normally a pretty good company. I mean, their whole slogan is "for the players," but is this for the players? Is this really what Sony have succumbed to? Let us know your thoughts. heroesofhandheld@gmail.com, or tweet us at Handheld Podcast on Twitter. We're going to hand over to Chris on his phone, who's going to give us the first bit of news from Nintendo.
Nintendo, you know how this year is the effect of Pokemon, which is nuts.
It's what? Sorry, say it again.
I said 20 years of Pokemon. It's nuts.
Yes, that is very nuts.
So they've announced, Pokemon and Nintendo have announced a new bunch of bits that are going to become. There's a trailer which you can watch on heroesofhandheld.com, which goes into more detail. But the main stuff that you need to kind of be aware of is that in Europe, there's going to be some new 2DS bundles. Colin, if you click the link that Nintendo Europe tweeted, you can have a look at this. I think they look really cool. They come out 27th of February. They're 2DS bundles, and they come bundled with a pre-installed virtual console copy of Pokemon Red, Blue, or Yellow, which was announced in December, if you remember us talking about it. Now, these look really good purely because they've used the original art from Red, Blue, Yellow back in the day.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, that's the original Pikachu picture. Love it.
Yeah. When he's kind of bent over and going, ah! It just looks so cool. And in America, there's going to be a similar sort of version coming out, similar bundle, but it's a new Nintendo 3DS instead of a 2DS. Because, as we know, the new Nintendo 3DS tends to only be sold in bundles overseas. So this looks really, really cool. And again, it's the same sort of idea. They come with faceplates based around, I believe it's faceplates, based around the old school design. So either the red or the blue. And it looks like you buy one and you get both the red cover and the blue cover for your new 3DS. And it's that weird thing, though, because your Charizard and your Blastoise go across the two designs. It looks really weird when it's folded over. It's going to look really strange. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm just distracted by that beautiful yellow 2DS. I really like that.
Well, maybe you should invest in a 2DS. You use yours
maybe
all the time. In other news, the other thing that I want to talk about is that they're going to be distributing mythical Pokemon. Now, mythical Pokemon, I didn't realize Colin, mythical Pokemons are Pokemon you can only get through events. So these include Mew, Celebi, Jirachi, Manaphy, Darkrai, Shaman, Arceus, Victini, Keldeo, Meloetta, and Genesect. I don't think they're all mythical, but a lot of them are. A lot of them have only been attainable as mythical before. And they're all going to be distributed at points throughout 2016 in America, including things with GameStop and Nintendo Network as well. And it looks like this is going to be happening in Japan as well. So keep your eyes peeled for this. It's starting February 2016. It looks, it's cool. It's a nice way of getting these Pokemon if you've missed them before. So keep your eyes peeled for that. So yeah, that's my first bit of news. Really, I think you should, if you're into your Pokemons, you should definitely check this out. And if you kind of liked Pokemon when it first came out, like Colin, but you haven't got back into it since, this looks like the perfect opportunity to jump back on the wagon.
It really does amaze me how every single week you manage to fish out some more Pokemon news.
Because it's huge. There's nothing there's not another franchise like it in the world.
No, there isn't. It is the franchise that keeps on giving. And I'm just looking at the 3DS versions now with the Charizard on the back.
Yeah,
does look cool, but
they do look really cool, don't they?
It'll look very weird. Exactly.
That's what I was saying, Colin. Yeah, what's your first bit of news, pal?
Well, I'm going to start off the news section for PlayStation Vita with some sad news. Another game has been cancelled. So a Vita version of a game has been cancelled. And this time it's Not a Hero. And for those of you who are not in the know about Not a Hero, it was a game that was being developed by Roll7. And Roll7 are probably most well known for the Ollie Ollie series, which was those skateboard games.
Yeah.
But Not a Hero is a tactical shooter video game. It looks very similar to a game I played called Gunslugs, which was a bullet. What are they called when the games are just like bullet? When there's loads, you're just shooting all the time. Like Bullet Hell game, similar to that. This game looked like it had a bit more to it. Let me just get the plot out. So you play as a purple rabbit called Bunny Lord, who's travelled back in time from 1948 to be elected as mayor to save the world as it's known from total destruction and alien invasion. During this candidateship, he needs to show the citizens why he should be elected and sets up freelance anti-heroes to clean up crime in the city under his name. So there you go. Sounds very interesting. So this has been teased for Vita for a very long time. A lot of people were excited for this. But then a blog post appeared on the PlayStation blog with the developer Roll7 explaining when it's going to be coming out to PlayStation 4. They revealed it's coming out on the 2nd of February. But for some reason, well, we now know why, but when they did this blog post, there was a very apparent missing addition to the news. There was no mention of the PlayStation Vita version, so a lot of people quizzed them, and they finally released a response. And prepare yourself, Chris.
How did they release this, Colin? What was this through?
This was through their official website.
Okay.
Why do you ask?
I'm just curious if it was a tweet or if it was like a statement or how they did it.
No, it's actually an actual full statement. And listen to this explanation. It's quite exciting. So sit tight. And this is why we will not be getting Not a Hero on PlayStation Vita. Right, this is the quote from their official website. They released this via a blog post. First and foremost, there was an issue of getting the game to work on Vita. I've always considered the Vita to be a key political constituency, but making games work on it is incredibly hard, especially as it's basically a minuscule television hiding inside a beastie S4 controller. In the end, we tried simply copying the whole game onto a 3.5-inch floppy disk and jamming it into the back of the Vita. But this caused dangerous overheating and one of our test kits exploded, killing the entire Not a Hero Vita programming team in a fully upsetting and totally avoidable fireball of nasty burning. Initially, we thought it was the baddies that had done it, but it turned out to just be our team's own fantastic ineptitude. It was at this juncture our lawyers advised us to abandon the port and come up with an elaborate excuse for its cancellation.
I mean, it's not great, is it? It's funny, but it's like...
Yeah, it's a bit of a piss take. Well, it's obviously a piss take, but it's a bit of like... Okay, yeah, very funny, but where's our Vita game that you promised? I imagine it's just the opening sentence of the blog post is the real reason why it didn't come to Vita, and that is they had an issue getting it to work on Vita. and they didn't bother to find out what the issue was, and they just decided to scrap it. So there you go.
Does sound like that, doesn't it? It's a pity though.
To be fair, when I first read the quote, I thought it was all true up to when they got to when they got to the programming team dying. I was like, "Holy shit! People died to bring this to Vita." That hold on a second, you can't put a floppy disk in a Vita. And then I realised. So it's good to see they've got a sense of humour. But a lot of people weren't happy about this. I'm just looking at the comments.
No.
On the article. A lot of people aren't best pleased. A lot of Vita fans are saying they now won't get a chance to play it because they only have Vita. They don't have PS4. But it's really sad because Roll 7 in the past they've been quite dedicated to Vita games. Obviously Ollie Ollie 1 and 2, quite popular games on the Vita, and Devolver, who are the people who the publishers behind Hotline Miami on the PlayStation Vita, they were the publishers for this one as well. So it is a surprise that it's now no longer coming to Vita, but I mean, hopefully sometimes if there's enough demand for it on Twitter and Facebook, like these developers do change their mind. I know with the Banner Saga, that was initially it was coming to Vita, then they decided they couldn't bring it to Vita, then there was quite a bit of an outcry on Twitter about that, and now it is coming back to Vita. So we wait and see. But for now, if you're looking forward to Not a Hero on PlayStation Vita, tough luck, it ain't coming. And you can blame the you can blame the comedians at Roll 7 for that.
It's a shame though, because those guys are normally kind of Vita stalwarts, aren't they? Like they're both big Vita supporters.
Oh, Devolver definitely are. They're one of the biggest supporters of Vita, but I guess their hands were tied with one because Roll 7 were the ones who made the final decision. But yeah, I mean, links on to what I said last week as well. I can't remember the developer's name now, but they were discussing how it is actually quite difficult to bring games to PlayStation Vita because of the coding. It's quite difficult. You have to, I think their quote was, you have to really, really seriously do some proper professional coding to get it to work on Vita. It's not a straightforward process, which does surprise me. I mean, from the outside, people who have no idea about game developing, like me, just think, oh, just copy and paste it onto Vita. What's the big deal? But clearly it's not that easy. So that's sad. So yeah, bad news to start off, but we've got some more positive things coming up. And we hand over to Chris.
Well, Colin, what am I going to tell you about now? Let's discuss Story of Seasons. I've not got a whole lot of news, but this caught my eye. So there's this game called Story of Seasons, which is we've talked about on the podcast before. I don't know if you remember this.
No.
Okay, well it's a sort of, I guess, like a farming village sim type thing. It's a bit Harvest Moon, but anyway, I thought it was worth announcing that the company called Marvelous have announced that a new Story of Seasons is coming to 3DS. It's called Story of Seasons, Good Friends of Three Villages, or that's a translation. And this is the 20th anniversary entry. So this is quite funny, actually, because this series is as old as Pokemon, and it's still getting games, but it's just not as known. So I thought that was interesting. But anyway, this is out in this week's Famitsu, so it's coming out in Japan. In Japan, it's called Bokujuo Monogatari, which I think sounds like
rolls
pasta, but there you go.
Bloody tongue, that does.
And this one's going to feature 3 villages: Lulu Koko, Tsukusa, and Wes Town, each with its own culture and bride and groom options and new systems and stuff. So this is quite exciting. We'll put the link up for Famitsu if you're interested. I imagine there's people over here who love this game. I am not one of them. I thought it was also worth talking about, Colin. This is another thing that's been announced today. It's called Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge. Now, have you seen about this?
No. Please explain it to me in great detail.
So, Mario and Friends Amiibo Challenge is I guess it's coming out for Wii U and 3DS, right? And it's kind of like the translation's a bit iffy because some people are calling it Mario and Friends and some people are calling it Mini Mario and Friends. Basically, it's like do you remember Lemmings?
Yes. Yeah.
You drop your lemming in and it walks in a straight line until it dies or gets to the goal. Well, this one looks quite similar. So except it's with Mini Mario's. We've talked about Mini Mario a lot on this podcast. So, I'm quite a big fan. Except with this one, you don't play as Lemming, play as your amiibos that you scan in. And each amiibo, so you can have like your Mario as your basic, but then each amiibo you scan in, if it's from the Mario series, is going to have like a special power that will help you get through. If it's from not the Mario series, it's going to come in as like a robot type thing, and it'll still be useful. But it's like a cool way of getting extra levels and stuff. It looks like the first game that's really strongly centered around having to have lots of amiibos. But it looks quite fun. It's coming out in Japan later on this month. I believe it's going to be, I think it's 26th or 28th. I'll just fact check that actually because it's worth having to date. But yeah, this looks quite fun. There's a trailer which you can watch on our website. It was basically there's a Nintendo trailer that came out today, all about like Amiibo and how they're featuring in different games. And this was a whole new announcement. So this is quite good. Do check it out. It's coming to the eShop on January 28th.
I'm looking at the trailer here. Like, I can see there's different characters appearing in different games here. It's like crossovers, isn't it? There's Mario in a game. No, is that a Mario game? Like where
I think, Colin, I think you're watching the whole video rather than just the trailer about me because it's a montage trailer.
Oh, right. I'm watching that. I know I'm watching Luigi play tennis. What's going on? Oh, Luigi holding his little racket.
I'd go back to your new pal.
Unfortunately, my Japanese is a little bit rusty, so I'll have to learn my Japanese again to know what's going on. But it sounds fun. Anything with Mario in the title is guaranteed to be a laugh. Isn't it, Jess? Yes, right.
Right, pal.
Right. So I'm going to go on to some good news for PlayStation Vita owners. It's been revealed that a game called Crypt of the Necro Dancer is coming to PlayStation Vita very soon, actually. It's coming out in February, which is only a couple of weeks away now. Now, I'm not going to lie, and a lot of people are probably going to slap me and throw obscenities at me over the internet, but I've actually never heard of this game before. But it was posted on the PlayStation Vita subreddit yesterday, and it's already got over 300 upvotes, likes, and whatever it's called on Reddit. But it's very, very popular. A lot of people are excited about this, and I'm just reading up on this game. It does sound very interesting. I mean, when I searched it on Google, as people do who have no idea about things, it's got a 10 out of 10 rating on Steam and a 4.5 Metacritic rating, which is pretty darn good. So let's hold hands and read what this game is about. Apparently it's a typical 2D dungeon crawling action game, but what is the unique twist is that it adds rhythm-based movement and combat into the mix. You control the main character called Cadence. That sounds better. As she explores each zone, nice, picking up gear and defeating musically motivated monsters. I love that, musically motivated monsters. You then unlock multiple new characters who offer different challenging modes of play. There's 4 unique zones featuring randomly generated levels, offer exciting new gameplay experiences every time. Looks very interesting, sounds interesting. I mean, the whole rhythm-based movement and combat thing is a bit, I don't really see how or understand that, to be honest, so I have to have a look at some of these videos and keep an eye out. But it's coming to PlayStation Vita and PS4 on February the 2nd. I think that's worldwide. This is just the US PlayStation blog, but looking on Wikipedia, and obviously Wikipedia always gives us the right information about everything, they've said it's coming to Vita worldwide on the 2nd of February. So a game that's got critical acclaim, and an indie game. It's an indie game, indie. But critical acclaim, a lot of people love it, really great reviews when it was released on Steam and Windows and Linux and all those things. So hopefully the port is a good quality one and people don't complain about it not playing very well, which is normally the reason why ports don't work. I look at Borderlands 2 as being a prime example. But Crypt of the Necro Dancer is coming to PlayStation Vita and PS4 on February the 2nd. So we may not be getting Not a Hero, but we're getting this game. And what are the odds that we'll get to February the 2nd or the 31st of January, and then the developer, Brace Yourself Games, will announce that it's been pushed back a month? I reckon that will happen, to be honest with you. It always seems to happen with these sort of games. But that's just the cynical person in me speaking.
Yeah, that is kind of grumpy Colin making a welcome return.
Yeah. Nice. Anyway, so a new game coming to Vita. Well, not a new game, a game coming to Vita, which is fun. What else have you got for me, Chris? Lay it on me.
Okay, I've got a few more. I'll do some little bits. and then I'm done. So the first thing, Colin, is that if you're in America and you really want to play Metroid Zero Mission, there's not really an easy way to do it at the moment. It came out over here as a GBA release on the Wii U, if I'm right. I think it did in Europe, but up until now, there's not really been an easy way to play it in America. However, fear no more, because, Colin, according to a listing on Nintendo.com, Metroid Zero Mission is coming to the Wii U as a virtual console release on January the 14th, which is tomorrow or today when you're listening. So we'll copy a link here. It's $7.99. Lots of places are reporting this as fact. Sometimes Nintendo.com do get the date slightly wrong. But yeah, if you're keen to play this, keep your eyes peeled, because it looks like it's finally happening, which is good. And yeah, you should, it's been out in GBA. I think it came out like March time over here last year, actually. It's been out for a while, but yes, you should check this out. Also, I wanted to talk about, Colin, this sick. So you know how much I love Mega Man.
You do like Mega Man a lot.
Legacy Collection comes out in a month's time, and Capcom have revealed. Right, I'm going to put the link in the article so you can have a look, and we'll put a picture on the website. Capcom have revealed these amazing new Mega Man headphones. I'm so keen for them. If you could give that link a click, Colin. They're a nice blue color. They've got a strap, like a nice strap, but they look exactly like something Mega Man would wear. They're going to cost $90. They do look really cool. They are going to cost $99, and apparently they're only going to ship to the United States as well. But maybe they'll go worldwide. We'll put a picture up on heroesofhandheld.com. And my last thing I wanted to talk about as well is that Koei Tecmo, who are game production people, they're making Hyrule Warriors. They have put a 18-minute video on their YouTube page, which shows you Hyrule Warriors Legends gameplay for the 3DS. Check it out, because it's just a good way of seeing what's happening in the game and kind of getting a feel for it, and seeing it actually being played is really useful as well. We'll embed it on heroesofhandheld.com. Colin, that's me rattled off. I look forward to hearing the rest of your Vita news.
Well, I'm going to continue on the new game or new releases on Vita bandwagon train express, because another game is coming to PlayStation Vita, and this game looks really interesting. It's piqued my interest, and the reason for that is because it's been compared to Portal. Everyone likes a bit of Portal.
We like Portal.
It's called Attractico. Great name as well, Attractico. It's a new puzzle adventure game that's coming to Vita and to PS4. Just trying to find out who the developer is going to be. It's from an indie developer called Game Coder Studios. It's going to be published by Bandai Namco. Actually, Bandai Namco are the people behind Time Crisis, so they've got good games up their sleeves. It revolves around a shifter gun, which is used to transport boxes and other items, as well as gravity boxes and gravity boots that can be used to the player's advantage in a physics manipulating gameplay. So you've got a gun that can transport things, very similar to Portal. So it looks really interesting. The art style looks very cool. It's very I think it looks very much like Fallout 4 looking at the art style here. There's a big old picture at the top of this article on onlysp.com, which is looks very cool. Loving the artwork there. It centers around a reality show. So the storyline centers around a reality show called Attractico on board the entertainment space station, where the only way to survive is to come out victorious. That sounds like that film Death Race with Jason Statham.
That's with Jason Statham. That's a remake, though, I think.
Is it really?
I believe so.
Oh, Jason, my boy Jace, what you doing to me? Well, it sounds really cool. There are 3 characters you can choose from as well. One's called Dalek, which will provide entertainment for Doctor Who fans. That's what this article says, apparently, because it sounds like Dalek, I guess.
Because Dalek.
Yeah, cause Dalek. They each have their own specific gadgets. Some puzzles can be solved alone, whereas others will require a switch of character. So I'm very interested in this, and there's a trailer that was revealed on the PlayStation blog as well. We'll put this trailer on the article for this episode of the podcast. Apparently, it's going to be released in, well, what's the date today? It's we're recording on the 13th. This game is coming out on the 18th of January. Wow, that's 5 days' time. That's insane. Coming to Vita and PS4, and it's going to be released on Steam at the same time as well. So it's very nice to see a game that's not being released on other platforms coming to Vita first, as well as other platforms, which is nice. But it's called Attractico, and I will definitely be giving this a cheeky look because I'm a big fan of Portal and physics-based manipulating gameplay puzzles.
Yeah, it sounds like a nice one for the Vita as well, like a nice one to kind of dip in and out of on the go.
It does. It seems like it was built purposely for handheld gaming. So that's good as well. What else have I got for you? I've got two more things to talk about. Firstly, I will talk about we should have spoken about this last week, really. But a list was revealed via IGN. Everyone loves IGN. The International Gaming Network.
I think so.
Is that
or independent?
right?
Maybe.
Maybe, I'm not sure. But they released a list of the top PlayStation Vita games. So they had their Vita game of the year 2015, and they decided it was A Link to Roll 7, actually. Ollie Ollie 2, Welcome to Ollywood. And they've given the runner-up award to Shovel Knight. And there's also a load of other games here. Hateful Boyfriends on here, Broken Age, Hotline Miami 2, all in their top 10 list here. But fair enough, they're still giving articles and talking about the Vita IGN. But it was really interesting because, once again, this was posted on the PlayStation Vita subreddit, and a lot of people took issue to this list. They were accusing IGN of being lazy, of just scraping the surface of the games available on PlayStation Vita, saying the list was absolute bullshit. A lot of people were suggesting other games. I mean, the games that they've listed are good. I mean, I've never played Shovel Knight, but I've heard really good things about it. And hey, who doesn't like Hateful Boyfriend? Come on. Pigeon Loving, come on. And obviously Hotline Miami 2 is good as well. I'm surprised they went for Ollie Ollie 2, though. I mean, I've not really heard much about that since it came out. As I said, a lot of Vita fans accusing IGN of being lazy and not bothering to look into the meat of the games that were released for Vita last year, because there was a lot of games that were released and a lot were critically acclaimed.
Also with IGN, I'm a huge fan of IGN. I really like it, but one of the two of their kind of biggest Vita advocates left last year. Do they kind of because two of them left to form Kind of Funny.
Yeah.
On top of all this. So I guess that's kind of meaning that they don't have as many staff who are playing as much Vita. I mean, I don't know, but that's the kind of theory that people were promoting on the subreddit.
Yeah, they were. That's exactly what people were saying, actually, that those two guys leaving was a big, reason why this list is so lazy. Like, I do love those two guys. They love the Vita so much, and it's just, refreshing. Why can't more proper video game people be like that, eh? Hey. But it'll be interesting to see what you, dear listeners, think of this list from IGN. We'll put a link to it in the article once again. What do you think about Ollie Ollie 2 being their best game of 2015 for Vita? I've never played it, not played the first one either, but if you have played it, let us know your thoughts on it. And do you think
I thought you played Ollie Ollie?
No, I've not played either of them.
You talked about Ollie Ollie years ago, didn't you?
I spoke about it about 10 minutes ago on this very podcast, Chris.
No, but I mean, I thought you reviewed. I don't know. Maybe I'm making things up.
You're smoking too much crack, I'm afraid. But let us know what you think about Ollie Ollie 2 being awarded the Vita Game of the Year by IGN. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let us know. Right, so I'm going to end on this. Let's just say we're going to end on a lighter note here. So, Chris, please click on that link at the top of my Vita news. And
right, is this just lol boob? Is that what you've called it?
Yes, this is great. And what's even better is that it's the Daily Star. Now, for those of you who are not from the UK, the Daily Star, let's just say it's not your most highbrow newspaper.
Okay, can I read you the headline in my news voice?
Yes.
Ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
This is the voice that got me on Radio 4. Busted. Sorry, folks. PS4's sexiest game has just been delayed. Gamers will have to wait that little bit longer before they can get their hands on Dead or Alive Extreme 3.
Now, this is literally the perfect thing for this newspaper to talk about. Really.
The top sentence is the boobiest game on the planet. I know. That's amazing.
It's great. So this is, of course, Dead or Alive. I think it's Dead or Alive 3. I believe. Yeah, Dead or Alive Extreme 3, which is known for its excessive use of boobs. And of course, the Daily Star jumped all over this It's not really a big story, to be honest with you. It's just that it's been pushed back a bit. So it's coming out on Vita and PS4 on the 24th of March. It was originally February. But the reason why this company, this newspaper, have decided to talk about it is because of the boobs. So Chris, did you want to list off the different mini games you can play in this game?
Yeah. What can you do?
What can you play?
There's tug of war.
Yes.
Pool hopping and butt battle.
That's my fave. I love a good old.
I don't think we spoke about this before, but we've not spoke about butt battle.
Yeah, butt battle. I don't know whether I want to know what that's all about, but there you go. And if you scroll down, there's loads of boobs to enjoy. So yeah, and there's even a little poll you can click as well. Do you want Dead or Alive to come to Britain? Yes or no?
No, I want it to come to 3DS.
Yeah, with the 3D, yeah. Right, so that's all my news done for this week. There you go. So I just want to quickly mention I've been playing a game called I don't know why I'm acting as if it's a new game. Everyone knows about this game. A racing game called Tabletop Racing. It came out a couple of years ago now, and I've had it on my Vita for years. I downloaded it a couple of years ago, and I've spoken about it on previous episodes. But I started playing it again. I dusted it off and started giving it a go. It's actually really fun. I do like a good racing game, and for those of you not aware, it's just a racing game, but you play as toys, these toy cars, and you're racing along different tabletops. So like a dinner table, a picnic table outside. There's some really nice graphics in it as well. There's a load of different game types, so time trials, there's battles, so you can pick up power-ups like you do in Mario Kart or Crash Team Racing, and you have missiles and things like that. The only negative is that you can pay to win, even though the game you have to pay for anyway. You can pay to get coins, which you can exchange for. I guess you don't have to. It's not paying to win. You can use those coins to upgrade your car to make it look a bit nicer. I guess you can give it better equipment like a faster engine and better brakes and things like that. But the coins, I can't remember how much they are, but they're not cheap either. I think for like 500 coins is about a $5. So it's not like really cheap either. So yeah, don't get hooked on, enjoy tabletop racing, but don't get hooked, because if you do, you'll probably end up spending real money, and then you'll look at yourself in the mirror and you won't like what you see.
How much have you spent?
£50. 50. I'm not even sure how the game appeared on my PlayStation Vita, because I don't pay for games normally. I can't actually remember. Did I get it for free? I don't know. I'm literally really confused as to how I ended up getting it on my Vita. I must have had a crazy depressed night once and I downloaded it for some reason. I don't know. But yeah, it's fun. Tabletop racing. If you haven't played it before and you like racing games, give it a go, because it plays very well on PlayStation Vita.
Well, I will check this out. Probably not.
Probably not, because you're too busy playing with your 8 balls. Cool.
I'm keen to try that. I'm going to try that and play on the tube.
Do it. It's very good, because you'll definitely get loads of 4G and Wi-Fi on the tube, you idiot.
Oh, yeah, don't you? Shit.
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah, never mind. Anyway, right, I think that's it for episode 122 of Heroes of Handheld. Did you want to sign us off, Chris?
Well, are we going to do the rhyming thing?
Oh, I suppose we could, couldn't we?
Right, Colin. Send us an email. Actually, heroesofhandheld@gmail.com is the best way to send us a message.
Did you say message?
Yep.
You can message us. It won't take an age. But you can also tweet us. I'm not good at this, Chris. I'm sorry. I'm put on the spot.
You can also tweet us. How do people do that?
People can tweet us at Handheld Podcast. I can't even say it. Handheld Podcast.
Send us a message and make it fast. There we go.
Oh.
Heroesofhandheld.com is the best website in the world.
And your name isn't Earl. I don't know.
The last one, and then I'm walking.
What rhymes with world?
Pearled.
Pearl's not a fucking word.
Yeah.
Dick. Deck. You deckhead. So yeah, Handheld. Are we still doing the rhyming thing? Right. You can also you can also go to our official website, heroesofhandheld.com.
Go on it late. Just don't tell Mom.
What the fuck is that? Brilliant. I think we've pretty much covered everything, and I'm pretty sure everyone knows the score now. You can even listen to our previous episodes on our website.
Check them out, but none of them are this shite.
I love it. Brilliant. So thank you for listening, everybody. We will be back next week, same time, same place, and I'm going to hand over to Chris, who's going to give you the final goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.